This is Dr. Muhammad Hafiz, KIMS of the Department of Ophthalmology, KIMS Karwar. Today I'll be talking about the extraocular muscles. The main thing what I'm going to talk about the actions of the extraocular muscles with a different view. Usually when they talk about the extraocular muscles, they talk about with respect to optical axis or visual axis. But today I would like to talk the action of extraocular muscles with respect to the fixed axis. What are the different types of fixed axis, and based on that we'll talk about the extraocular muscles action. Okay, we'll start the extraocular. The main six extraocular muscles is your lateral rectus, medial rectus, superior rectus, inferior rectus, superior oblique and inferior oblique, two obliques, two vertical recti and two horizontal recti. So nerve supply being the famous mnemonic is LR6 and SO4. LR is lateral rectus is supplied by sixth nerve, superior oblique by the fourth nerve, and the rest all by your third cranial nerve. Okay, what is fixed axis? According to fixed axis, there are three axes upon which these movements occur. That is your adduction, abduction, rotation, torsional movement, or any other movement. For example, if this is the eye, you have an x-axis, then you have a y-axis, that is your anterior posterior axis. Then you have a z-axis. All these axes meet at a point of meet at a center of rotation, point called a center of rotation of the eye. Okay, now what happens is what are these axes? What does the x-axis do? What does the y-axis do? What is the z-axis? Any movement around the x, y, z-axis, what does it do? For example, this is the eye, and you have this is the x-axis. What movement? If you rotate the x-axis and the x-axis is pinned to the eye, what movement you will get? You will get a upward movement and a downward movement. The x-axis gives an upward movement and a downward movement. So it is x-axis is involved in the elevation of the eye and depression of the eye. Elevation and depression of the eye. And if you see the z-axis, this is the eye, and this is the z-axis. And if you try to rotate the z-axis, what movement trying to get? It will go, the eye will go for adduction and abduction. So z-axis we can cause adduction bar abduction. Okay, now what about the y-axis? Y-axis. To see y-axis, you have to see in the anterior posterior diameter of anterior posterior view. This is the eye. This will be your y-axis. Now, if you rotate the y-axis, what movement you will get? In y-axis, you will get the rotational movement. That is your torsional movement. That is your intorsion bar extorsion of the eye. Okay. So those are the fixed axis. So x-axis or horizontal axis helps in the elevation and depression. Y-axis helps in the torsional movement, as extorsion, intorsion. Z-axis helps in the adduction and abduction. Okay. Now coming to if you see the orbit, if you get a section at the level of the eye, at the section that is your transverse section at this level of the eye, and you see from the above, you will get this picture. So this is the lateral wall of the orbit. This is the lateral wall, and these two are the medial wall. If you join both the lateral wall from both the side, the lateral wall will meet at approximately at 90 degree. And if you join the medial wall of one side and the lateral wall of the same side, they meet at an angle of 45 degree. Both the lateral walls will meet at 90 degree and the medial wall medial wall bisect them at 45 degree and 45 degree. Okay, now if you take each, if you consider each orbit, that is your lateral wall, this is the medial wall and lateral wall. What bisects the lateral and medial wall, this 45 degree gets bisected by one more structure, that is your superior rectus muscle. Superior rectus muscle. See, this superior rectus muscle will bisect this lateral wall and the medial wall into 22.5 degree each, both the side, approximately 23 degree. You can call it as a 23 degree. Now the superior rectus not just divides the orbit into 23 degree and 23 degree, it also divides, it also meets at a y-axis with 23 degrees, y-axis at 23 degree. For example, if you see in the picture, this y-axis and this is the I, now this is the orbit, and this is the I, and this is the y-axis. See, this y-axis and the medial wall are parallel, and your superior rectus and going and dividing the y-axis. You know this is 23 degree, so obviously this also should be 23 degree, because two parallel lines get cut. If a line intersects two parallel lines, these angles are called as alternate angle, and alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. So superior rectus makes an angle of 23 degree. Superior rectus makes an angle of 23 degree with the y-axis. Now with the y-axis, if it makes an angle of 23 degree, what should be the angle with the x-axis? Because x-axis and y-axis are perpendicular. Superior rectus makes an angle of 23 degree here, so that means here it should make 67 degree. So with the x-axis it makes 67 degree, and with the y-axis it makes 23 degree. Okay, so we have 23 degree here, and with the x-axis it should make 67 degree. So at the end, what you should know is superior rectus or inferior rectus. See, both make same, both are parallel to each other. Okay, superiorly you have superior rectus, inferiorly you have inferior rectus. So if this is superior rectus, below the optic nerve you will find a inferior rectus. Here you will have inferior rectus. Both are parallel. The superior rectus and inferior rectus, or in simple word, vertical muscles, will make more angle. You should remember only this much: more angle with the x-axis and less angle with the y-axis. Okay. Ulta happens with your oblique muscle. See, superior. This is a superior oblique muscle. Superior oblique has a two part, with one muscular part, and one tendinous part. Tendinous part is after pulley. After pulley you get a tendinous part, which is the functional part. But inferior rectus has only inferior rectus is muscular, but it doesn't have a long part, but only a short part from the medial wall to the eye. Only short part. This is a muscular part only of the inferior rectus. If I draw inferior rectus below, it is inferiorly. It will have from medial wall to the eye. It will have one muscular short tendinous inferior oblique. Superior oblique and inferior oblique we are talking. Now if you see in superior oblique makes an angle of 51 degree with the y-axis. That you should remember. If it makes an angle of 51 degree with the y-axis, it will make an angle of 39 degree with the x-axis. So in a nutshell, what we are trying to say that superior oblique makes more angle with the y-axis, and in superior oblique and inferior oblique, but both will make less angle with the x-axis. So in case of rectums, that is a vertical rectus, superior rectus and inferior rectus made more angle with the more angle with your x-axis. more angle with your x-axis. Superior oblique and inferior oblique made more angle with the y-axis. Okay, this much you should remember. This much is very important to understand the muscular action. Now, what is the relation between this axis and the force of the muscle? Now consider this wheel with an axis here, or axle. Now what happened if you apply a force, which is perpendicular to the axis. See, this is the axis and you're applying a force, this is the green color force, perpendicular to the axis. The rotation will be maximum, the rotation of the wheel will be maximum. Understood? The rotation of the wheel will be maximum, or the action of the force will be maximum. Now if you apply the same amount of force but with the parallel to the axis, in this direction if we apply, there is no movement at all. There won't be any movement. No movement. In this case there is no movement. So that means if you apply the force perpendicular to the axis, there will be maximum rotation, and if you apply force parallel to the axis, the when the force makes an angle of 0 degree with the axis, the action will be nil. Here the action is maximum. So in between, if you give any force, the action will be lesser than this action, but definitely it will be more than this action. So maximum action you will get at 90 degree, and lesser action you will get at 0 degree. What I am trying to say is, if the force is applied at a particular axis, if the angle is maximum, the action will be maximum. Angle between the force and the axis is maximum, action will be maximum. If the angle is less, angle between force and the axis is less, the action will be less. Okay, this is what we want to do. For a movement around any axis, rotational movement, if the angle between the force and the axis is maximum, the action is maximum, and such actions are called as primary actions in our case. If the force and the axis is minimum, the angle between them is minimum, actions are called secondary or tertiary. The actions are decreased, those actions are secondary or tertiary actions. So in case of superior bar inferior rectus, this is your vertical rectile. This makes an angle of 23 degree with the y-axis, but 67 degree with the x-axis. That means superior rectus and inferior rectus will have maximum action at x-axis. That means superior rectus at axis causes elevation, and inferior rectus causes depression at x-axis. These elevation and depression actions are maximum. These are the primary action, but it makes lesser action 23 degree with the y-axis. So that intorsion bar extorsion of superior and inferior rectus. Superiors are intortor, superior rectus causes intorsion, and extorsion is caused by inferior rectus. These actions are secondary because it acts at y-axis, where the superior and inferior oblique make only 23 degree lesser angle. So here it makes more angle. So these are primary actions, these are secondary actions. Okay, now we'll see what happens in case of superior oblique muscle. So oblique muscle makes an angle of 51 degree with the y-axis. That means superior oblique bar inferior oblique action is maximum with the y-axis. Y-axis is your extorsion. This is your inferior oblique, which causes extorsion, and intorsion. This causes superior oblique. But these two muscle will make an angle of only 39 degree with x-axis. That means their action with x-axis is less. X-axis actions are your superior oblique causes depression and inferior oblique causes elevation. So these become second reaction because their angle is less. These becomes the primary action. These become the secondary. Okay. Now in case of lateral rectus and medial rectus, what happens is, see, if you see lateral rectus and medial rectus, it makes straight away 90 degree full maximum action with your z axis. So with the z axis it makes 90 degree. So it will have only one action, that is your lateral medial rectus causing adduction and lateral rectus causing abduction. So you can remember like this: z action causes adduction and abduction, z axis. Now why do we have all these why superior oblique is causing intorsion and why inferior oblique will cause, why superior oblique causes intorsion and why inferior oblique causes extorsion? We'll try to see that. Intorsion, what is intorsion? Intorsion is nothing but you get the 12 o'clock position of the eye inside. Extorsion means same 12 o'clock position of this eye outside. See, this 12 o'clock position of the eye is bringing in is called as intorsion. 12 o'clock position of the eye bringing here is called as extorsion. So if you see, this is the superior aspect of the eye, this is the inferior aspect. This is your inferior oblique and this is your superior oblique. So if there is a pull like this, pull of the eye from here, that means you are taking the superior to the inside. Superior, that is your 12 o'clock to the inside. So it called as superior causes intorsion. Whereas inferior oblique pull is like this. It causes the 6 o'clock position to inside. While causing 6 o'clock position to inside, it causes the 12 o'clock position outside movement. So it causes inferior oblique causes extorsion. Understood? So elevation and depression of superior rectus and inferior rectus is quite easy. Now all the lateral rectus and medial rectus causes lateral rectus causes abduction and adduction, primary action, and all this adduction and abduction goes as a tertiary action for the other recti and oblique. So superior rectus elevation is the primary, inferior rectus depression. So superior rectus intorsion is the primary. See, if you remember mnemonics in RAD, this applies to these muscles. Superiors are intorters. So superiors are intorters. Here is an intorter, here is an intorter. And recti are, these both the recti are adductor for the tertiary actions. Adductor. Understood? Thank you. If any doubt, any corrections, kindly any corrections, please let me know. Kindly like, share and subscribe and click the bell icon for the further notification. Thank you.